Good morning, Judith.
Good morning, Sonya.
Welcome to the Coach's Cup podcast. I am Sonya Green from Sonya Green Coaching.
And I am Coach Judith Fender with the UBS weight loss program.
Today, we are talking about rest
and
getting quality rest, not sleep necessarily, but resting your body and your mind.
I was like, because, you can't rest that body if the mind is racing. It's a mindset.
Yes, this is a mindset. In fact, that's so funny. At the very top of my notes, I have rest equals mindset. And rest is the way we're going to define it today, the way we're going to talk about it today, is taking time after your work is done.
So here.
Yeah. So the first part, I think, of getting good rest, and this is where many of us fail, is we plan in our heads. We just think, oh, I've got all of this that's got to be done. And rest isn't even an option. And we never plan our days. When we're planning, when we're laying out all of the things that need to be done, then we can build time for rest in there. And you're fuzzy.
I am fuzzy sweater on.
Yeah. Your microphone's fuzzy.
It's working now.
Okay.
So it's interesting because, when I think of rest, or when I think of clients that I've coached and how this comes up, it shows up in tiredness. I get the people coming, and when they're overeating, eating off plan, there's always that tired component. Oh, I was just so tired. I'm so tired. And, it breaks down into mental tiredness or physical tiredness. Let's be real clear here, y'all. Let's be real clear. And what it boils down to, because our bodies, they're always going to show up. No matter what, our bodies are going to show up. And none of us fallen asleep at work, maybe. Okay. We'll just give it, unless you intentionally lay down, but you had to require your brain. You said, okay, I'm going to take a nap now. But it is that the stories we tell ourselves all day long, and the mindset that we have when we're at work, and it's the incompletion of the work that we do, and why we're not doing the work. And what I love so much about this, because it's resonated with me, is because of a feeling, right? Why we were procrastinating. I don't think of myself as a lazy person.
No.
At all. But if we look at the results, this past Friday was a prime example for me. I had my admin day. I had a list of things to do. And I told myself, I wasn't feeling creative. I can't do this. I don't feel creative. There's no creativity. And I tried to stimulate creativity. I tried to look at other things. And so that led down all with awareness the whole time I'm doing this, and just hand on my face going, what is going on? But, today, looking back 2 days ago, I see that it was my mindset. I was giving in to the feeling that I wasn't feeling creative.
Yeah.
Versus just being willing to do some B- work.
Yes.
And get it done.
Yeah.
Which is everything, because I spent a whole day of procrastinating, and I'm sure there was some perfectionism in there as to why I wasn't getting started. And
if it's the B- work you were afraid of, that's somebody perfectionism driving the car.
Yeah, that my spelling, my grammar, I don't have the perfect photo, I need this. But the mindset, so where this goes with the mindset of productivity, right? That being productive throughout the day, doing what you say you will do, earning your space to have the clear mindset that rest is available to you because you have accomplished and created the results of your day.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to tell a story about my own procrastination that we talked about earlier. I've been teaching for 29 years, and for 29 years, I have hated grading. And I teach writing. So we're not talking about running a Scantron through a machine. We're talking about grading papers.
Are we talking about handwritten or are we talking about typing? Just get me clear.
Back in the day, it was handwritten.
Oh, okay.
Now it's all, I don't accept anything handwritten, but there have been times when I graded I'm very good at reading handwriting, actually, because of all my experience. But for 29 years, and we were studying for this podcast, and I hit that. Brooke Castillo said, most of the things we procrastinate on are because of a fear of rejection.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt completely implicated when she said that, because what I realized is, the story I've always told myself is, I don't like conflict. I don't like conflict. And when am I more in conflict with somebody than when I'm judging their writing?
Your perception, right?
Well, I do have an education that says I know the standard.
But no, you're thinking of it as a conflict.
Yes, I'm thinking of it as a conflict because they're not going to like anything less than an A.
Right.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so for 29 years, I have been putting off grading, dreading grading, having it hang over me. My goodness, I just realized when I retire, I may sleep for the first month.
Right. Right. Oh, your work will be done. Your mindset will be clear.
But that's also, with you talking about on Friday, that worrying about misspelling or not having the right picture, that is a fear of rejection.
And in result, right, we are rejecting ourselves ahead of time.
Yes. And that hangs with us, and we cannot have quality rest, freedom for our minds to rest if we have those things hanging over us.
It's true. It's true. It makes it, hindsight's 2020. And what I love so much too about, for 29 years, you've been grading papers. And of course the coach in me had that thought of, well, now that's a thought, because some kids might be like, I can't wait to get my paper back from the screen and get my feedback.
Oh yeah.
There's some, but how we all create that story. Like, you think every kid, the storiness of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The buy-in, like me and my story, like I got to have the perfect, as if there is a perfect picture.
Yeah. No, that's crazy, because even there are times when I think, ooh, that's such a good picture of me. And then a year later, I come back to it and go, wow, what was I thinking? That's, or vice versa. I love those pictures, those old pictures, like when we were in our 20s.
Oh yeah.
And we thought we were to whatever. And then you go back and you're like, oh, you were so cute. Look at you looking perfect. But we don't appreciate that about ourselves in the moment, no matter what age we are, I think.
And here, oh my gosh, this just has my brain going down this portal of thinking of, this is as good as it's going to get, right? Like, we need to enjoy this moment right now, because this is it.
Yeah.
Because
it's a pretty awesome moment. Whatever it is, whatever is going on. And if we accept it and move forward,
it just feels better.
And it allows us to rest and rejuvenate, whatever, our minds, our bodies, our spirits, our souls. If we can give ourselves the gift of accepting, this is what it is. I am enough. I'm going to produce the things I need to produce, and then I'm going to rest. that's rest. That's real.
And I want to use the word aspirational, and I want to use that in the most positive way. Like it is, I can see it. I think I can feel it. But in the moment when I'm not feeling creative,
All the stories come up.
it's true.
Yeah. Because that's what our brains do.
Yeah.
That's what they've been doing since we took our first breath.
Yeah. And it's funny because I think like it's so true, because I gotta feel creative, and because when when you get your flow going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is so good. And I just knock things out. And then anywho,
well, and unfortunately, that whole concept of flow, it happens very rarely. It is very rare, even for the most productive individuals, to feel truly in flow. Somebody was talking about that recently, and I don't remember who it was. It may have been Tony Robbins. I don't know. But somebody I was listening to was talking about how, there's that whole idea of flow, that most people don't achieve it very often.
Yeah. I think in the episode 382, Brooke Castillo's podcast, Resting versus Laziness, she does say that, like, and what it boils down to is because we don't feel like doing it.
Yes.
And we have to do hard things. The hard thing is moving past that feeling of not wanting to do it, whatever it is. It's no,
I'm going to do it because there's a reward at the end.
Yes. And it's
rest.
It's mind blowing too.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing that it could be that simple. And so the story I also have around myself too, and maybe this will resonate with some of our listeners. I was, a stay-at-home mom for many years, and I had the luxury of time and indulging in all of these stories and my creative flow. And I'm not a stay-at-home mom anymore. I'm a working mom. And the kids are grown. I'm a working woman. And there are things have deadlines and time constraints. And this process of learning time constraint and valuing working from home. And I can see the finish line and where I want to be with this, so that when I close out the end of my day, then I have created the results.
Yes.
So that I can, check the box, so to say, and be like, yeah, I did everything I said I was going to do today. And now I can rest.
Yes.
My work is done. And so that's where I think I was going with the aspirational, and I have a lot of awareness and thinking about who is listening that is working from home and trying to find that balance of, because it can bleed over.
Work, personal life balance.
Right. Exactly. Because you're at home and like, well, I'll do this in 30 more minutes, or I'll do this then, and that urge to want to put it off.
Yeah, I work from home usually 2 days a week. I have the chance to work from home, and I'm in the middle of working on an assignment or grading papers or whatever it is, and I take the time to stop and throw in a load of laundry.
Yes.
And that breaks my flow, so to speak. But it all has to be done, and so you're right. There is that balance, but I still go back to planning where I started. I think is our best friend in these moments. Just like planning food for weight loss.
Well, I had a plan.
Yeah.
Then it's about managing the urges, and then it's about doing what you have on your plan, whether you feel like it or not. I mean, there's having the plan.
Yes. And there's accepting that you're not going to feel like doing it.
Yes.
As soon as you write that plan, that might as well be your next thought. Here's the plan. Here's the knowledge that my brain is going to throw up all kinds of shade.
Yep. It's true. It's true. I guess I wasn't, it's been a process, and this was like my first, there's a story here, but sometimes when you're in other emotions, I don't even know that I didn't have this awareness months ago. I was just limping through, and now I see it. And it's good to know. It's good to know. I know what I'm working with this Friday. I am prepared.
And that's what it's all about, right? I mean, it really is. It's having those moments of clarity and awareness, and then knowing
Mhm.
that you have a tool the next time it comes up. Not if it comes up, because it's gonna come up,
Mhm.
but you've got a tool to handle it, to deal with it.
And it's normal. I think
Yeah.
there's a huge component of normalizing this. It's not there's something wrong with me.
No,
I'm not broken. You're not broken. Nobody
no.
listening is broken. We have perfect human brains. We'll go back to motivational triad. When
Yes.
seek pleasure, avoid pain, make life as easy as can be.
Yeah.
Having some compassion in those moments. Oh, I notice you, brain, wanting to judge this work. This is,
Mhm.
and just, I'm looking forward to doing my work. Please remind me of this on Friday.
I'll text you.
Somebody,
I'll just say rest.
right? Y'all start posting on my Instagram on Fridays. Judith, how's your work day? How's your admin day?
But it really is worth it. And this is one of those things where you can accumulate some evidence, because when I complete what's on my plan and I am with my family that night or whenever it is,
Mhm.
it's like all the burdens are gone. It's like everything has been lifted off of me, and I can truly enjoy it because I know I have done the things. I'm
Mhm.
in integrity, right? I've done the things that I promised myself I was going to do.
Mhm.
And that's the most beautiful rest. That's the only real rest.
Right. And in terms, if we think of like my weight loss clients, when they have their plans for the day and learning that process of, figuring out why they're not following their plans, looking for the learning opportunities. There is no perfect way of doing this, and remembering to not use your plan, whether it's for weight loss or your day, as a tool to beat yourself up over, as some standard of that is not achievable, and making sure that it is doable for you. And what did you learn? And not, because if you go down that beat up portal, then that's a whole nother coaching, a whole nother lesson.
Yeah, and you've really missed the opportunity
Mhm.
for the real gold.
Mhm.
It's never down the beat up tunnel,
No.
whatever that is.
Holes, dark holes.
Yeah.
Don't you know, Sonya?
Yeah. We find the rest and the rejuvenation are never after a good beat up
No, I was like,
or
down
beat
there
down.
with those naked dreams are happening in those portals, those swirly dark tunnels is where the naked.
Yeah, you'll have to go back and listen to last week's episode if you don't know that reference. That's awesome. People are going to wonder what
I
we've
know.
been talking about.
We'll just string it out from
That's
one to the
right.
next.
Yep. All right. Any last things you want to say about rest? I will say, I think rest should be its own goal. Like if you put on your calendar, I will put on there family or rest. And there is, if you have anything in your brain that says, if I am resting, I'm being lazy, get that out. Because if you've done your work in order to feel productive, in order to be productive, you got to have some rest. It's the way we're made.
I can remember, and I think I've said this in a podcast before, but freshman year of college, we had some speaker, can't tell you who it was. He was trying to impart his wisdom on all of us. And what I remember, because, I'm taking notes, wanted to get it right. I wanted to get the most out of this experience. And it was to be where you are, right? To be in the moment.
Yes.
And if you put on your calendar 50 minutes of work, 5 whatevers it looks like, then that's what you do. If you are having conversations, if you're with your family, be with your family. And the gift of getting done what you say you're going to do is exactly, the home run we're hoping that you hear from this podcast, is then you get to be with your family and you get to be in a state of rest when you want to rest, and letting doing what you say you will do.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't say it any better than that.
You always
All
say that.
right.
You always say that, Sonya.
It's always true.
It is true.
I can't
It was
help
good.
it.
Let
I
me
can't
impart
help
my
it that
wisdom.
I have a great podcast partner who's brilliant. Anyway,
That today. Let me accept that. Let me take that in.
yes,
Okay.
take that in and accept it. All right. If you love this podcast as much as we do, we would love for you to give us a review on iTunes. We would also love for you to share it with the people that you love. Maybe you know somebody who needs some rest, who needs some true rest and rejuvenation. Share this podcast with them. Also, if you are interested in coaching, you can reach out to me at sonyagreencoaching.com or on Instagram at Sonya, SONYA _green coaching.
And if you would like to work with me on coaching, you can find me with the No BS weight loss program. And that's, I coach exclusively for Corinne. And, but if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's just Judy on Instagram. All right.
All right. We'll see you next week and get some rest.
Bye, y'all.